Welcome back to Steve's Project Car Garage. My name is Steve, and sitting behind me is my 1969 Triumph Spitfire tanker. Today we're going to be working on the passenger side for a change. In the last video you saw where I really kind of wrapped up things on the driver's side of the car, and I got things pretty much buttoned up there, so now I can start working on the passenger side. In the last video I'd also gone ahead and shown some new rot that I had discovered and made some suggestions about what I may or may not do. After doing a lot of thinking on this, I think that my path of action for this is to go ahead and patch things up, create a series of patches, and go ahead and just fix things up the way they are instead of trying to replace the entire parcel shelf. That would be quite a massive undertaking in just trying to rebuild and reshape all that metal, and probably just way beyond my skill set. As it is with this project, I'm in over my head, so I don't want to bury myself even further. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start removing the rear wing on the Spitfire on the passenger side. We're going to get that off, and then we'll be able to go ahead and actually get a good view of what's going on inside there. I'm not expecting any surprises. I suspect that it's going to be just like it is in the driver's side. So stick around, and it'll be a good one. Cheers. Alright, so it's going to be very much like it was over on the driver's side. When they put this on here, they just used a bunch of panel bond to kind of just fill these gaps here. I suspect that it's going to be all the same down through here, so I'll end up having to try to creatively remove this without damaging the B-post support. Looks like we have a series of tack welds kind of going across here. I'll be using my new grinder that I got from Harbor Freight to try to cut through these. I think I'm going to kind of try to grind through these welds here as well, and we'll just get this guy separated. And then of course we'll have some more down along here. So let's get started. as I had mentioned before, this was all seam sealer here on the other side. And I mean, frankly, this looks to be all exactly the same. I kind of wonder how thick this is going to be. On the other side, it was a challenge to really kind of get this all cleaned up and to get it removed without damaging the metal. Let's see what we could do. Welcome back. So we're gonna fast forward and I'll explain to you guys kind of what happened there. I ended up discovering that these guys had welded all on the B-post, and then also welded up in the inner wheel arch, where they didn't do that at all on the other side. The inner wheel arch on the other side wasn't welded at all, and this was just held on with some seam sealer. So it was very much a surprise to me, and I got kind of frustrated and then just turned the camera off for a little bit, so sorry about that, but there was some choice words being said. And so I've spent the last hour and a half trying to knock this out. So let's go ahead and take this off and see what lies beneath. Wow. That sucked. Okay, so it's time to go ahead and show you the carnage. So, unfortunately, I beat the daylights out of this B-post panel trying to get these welds off. Wow, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I could probably go ahead and fix this, I would think, if I were to go ahead and hammer that all on out and then possibly just weld a new strip on there. I don't know. I'll worry about that later. Otherwise, it's going to be a replacement. This is interesting. This I did not do. You can tell by the rust. Looks like whoever took one of the wings off at one point or another did decide to cut through the inner sill accidentally. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to fix. Let's see here. I mean, we knew what this was all about, right? We knew this going into it, and that's why we're here. This is the lower B post. I have the patch for that. You can see a piece of the strengthener, which is there still. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's going to be the prime reason why we did all this. Got some holes here, kind of like we had on the other side. I'm sure that once I come in here with the wire wheel, we will see more of that. Wheel arch, again, like the other side, it's a replacement. Doesn't look too bad. I mean, they kind of boogered it up like on the other side, and it's kind of loose, so we'll probably cut that off. There is an actual another wavy bit like they cut on the other side that goes through here, so we'll cut that off. This is a big area of opportunity, and again, I knew that this was going to be a mess, but it doesn't make sense when they put this on. Like, they welded through the rust on here, and there was just a big glob of weld here that they had. You could totally tell that these guys used a stick welder when they did this, because the amount of weld that they laid down is just incredible. I mean, look at this. They're big old boogers. So, that's the scoop. The panel, I don't know, man. It's in about the same shape as the panel over there from the other side. So, We'll see. I don't know. All right, well, that just about does it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was not much of a surprise other than the welds. That's going to be a whole other conversation once I finally get around to figure out what I'm going to do there. But other than that, I mean, it's what I expected to be over here. So because I won't have that many more surprises moving forward into this, with this section, I hope to get this done in way less than the 5 months that it took me to do the other side. That, and also, it's beautiful. Right now, I got the garage door open. It's 83 degrees outside. It's nice. We are now finally starting to get the nice weather here in Florida, so more progress, more time in the garage, closer to getting this thing done. So, with that being said, I want to thank you again for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell, get those post notifications, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.